Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time visiting. Today we are doing a recent deck roundup. This is a recap of all the decks that have come in since the last time I made one of these videos, whether they were received for review or I purchased them or a Kickstarter came in, like any of that. This is like a recap, a haul, however you want to view these, but they're a lot of fun. Let's just jump into it. I've already talked about this deck on the channel, but I did want to mention it in the recap here. I did get the Good Tarot. I talked about this in my February and March show and tell. This is a deck I have not been very kind to in the past because I just thought it was going to be really, I don't know, like the term that comes to mind is nice washed or light washed, where just like everything is put in like this really like positive light, and I was like not here for it. And I wasn't entirely sure that the artwork in this deck always completely sort of showed the meaning of the card. However, I was having a rough March and I picked this up on a whim from my local metaphysical store, and I have to say I really enjoy it. This is the first deck in a long time I felt like I wanted to put by my bedside table or on my bedside table to do a quick card pull at bedtime, like a reflective card pull. It's a very comforting deck, and I've talked a lot about the Guardian Angel Tarot, which is currently out of print for this purpose. Pulling a card at bedtime to just sort of get a comforting message before you go to sleep. And while the messages aren't written right on the cards, the artwork is really soothing and gentle to look at. And the messages are really comforting. So I've been really enjoying this, but I did want to show it because it did come in since my last recent deck roundup. And it is currently living on my bedside table for nighttime readings, and I'm really enjoying it. But this is the Good Tarot. This is a mass market. It's been around a long time. This cardstock does not hold up well. The copy that I played with in the store was really warped and bent from just people handling it. And I've already got one card peeling and I've had it less than a month. So like quality wise, not the best, and it's super glossy, but it's been just really lovely for a comforting bedtime message. So I'm really enjoying this. That's the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. Now I also comfort bought another deck that I have not opened yet. So we're going to open that together. I did play with the sample deck. This is the Herbal Astrology Oracle. Now this one and the Good Tarot are both Hay House purchases. I'm going to literally use my Athame to open this. Please, nobody cringe. I probably shouldn't do this on camera. Some of you are going to be like, what are you doing? It's making me nervous. But I haven't even taken the plastic off of it. And usually I've done at least that before I bring these on camera. Now, my beef with Hay House lately has been their cardstock. It's not great. It's really inexpensive. But to be fair, they have sales all the time where you can get their decks like buy one, get one free or whatever. I bought these both from a local metaphysical shop, so I don't know that I got any deals that way, which is fine. I like supporting my local shops. But I feel like because Hay House always sells these decks for not a lot of money, the way they always do sales and stuff, I feel like they kind of have to make their decks pretty cheap or they're not going to be able to continue doing it. That said, though, it's not fully if you buy these decks at full price, I don't always feel like the quality is worth it. But actually, hold on. No, this feels like it's probably going to be the same cardstock. Yeah, it's like this sort of satin finish. It's like this sort of satin finish, but kind of matte cardstock that just warps, and I don't know. But anyway, I was drawn to this because I don't currently have an herbal deck that I'm enjoying using, and this one really seemed to tick some of my boxes, so I thought I would give it a try. This is Adriana Ailes. I've heard really good things about this. The guidebook is pretty chunky. Now, this is supposed to mix astrology, obviously. Hello, herbal astrology and herbs. I have to admit I got it more for the herbs, but we'll see. So this is what the backings look like. They're really pretty. So what I liked about this is that you get the name of the herb and then a keyword. Now, you also have some astrological things happening, I'm assuming. So like this has the glyph for the sun, so does this. I'm looking for another glyph. Like, is it sun in something? I'm not sure. So anyway, calendula is purity, St. John's wort for radiance. But then here we have sun and Mercury together for rosemary. I'm not sure where the astrology layers are going to come from, but rosemary for ancient memory I thought was really cool. Rue for protection, blue lotus for intuition. We've got sun and moon up there. Sun and Jupiter for sage and blessing. So these might be the astrological associations with this particular plant. Here we have metamorphosis. I really just enjoyed the softer artwork and the keywords. But to be fair, psychic healing for mugwort is a really good keyword. To be fair, oh, this is neat. Motherwort for strength. I really like this with like the sort of uterus situation happening here. I don't know. I was really drawn to the tones of this. I was really drawn to the feel of it. But I think it's saying something that I purchased this when I was like just having a rough day. And then I hadn't been really drawn to even take the plastic off since then. So I don't know. This is one that the jury's going to be out on. If you have this, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. How you're working with it. Do you enjoy it? Because I don't know. Now I'm looking at it and the colors almost look kind of drab. Whereas I feel like when I was looking at it initially, and the studio lighting here makes it look a lot like brighter, obviously. But in person, this is kind of a darkish sort of situation. Is Palo Santo the last card? Yeah, it is. That's kind of neat. So that one is Guardian. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one a little bit. I feel like I just kind of wanted an herbal deck, and I liked that there were keywords on it, and that's as far as I got. Because the last herbal deck I really liked was the Seed and Sickle. I really do like that deck. But it didn't have keywords on the card, and as much as I did enjoy the guidebooks, I just found myself not reaching for it, I think because of that. So I don't know. We'll see about this one. I would love your thoughts. What do you think? But the guidebook looks really good, like really good expansive messages and write-ups on these cards. So that's kind of exciting. We'll have to see. Now, you may have noticed my reading cloth is so nice. So this is actually the reading cloth that came with the little Cryptid Oracle. I'm so excited about this, you guys. You just don't know. So I've unwrapped a lot of the packaging, but not all of it. We're going to do some of that together, but most of it I've unwrapped. So I got this in. Now, if you recall, this is my little prototype copy that the creator sent me when I did a prototype sort of preview of this deck before it went on Kickstarter, or maybe around the same time it went on Kickstarter. And I love my little prototype. Super cute. This is such an adorable oracle. Anyway, this is my little prototype copy. And you can kind of get an idea for what was happening here with the tin and such. Check out though, okay, so when I got the real version in, you know, the Kickstarter version in, first of all, it didn't come like this. I've just kind of packaged it together so I can keep track of it. But oh my gosh, first of all, it comes with this gorgeous like custom bag. Now, y'all know I almost always put my stuff in Peggy bags, but this deck is gonna have to live in its own bag because this is too stinking cute. It's a linen bag. It's got these little footprints on it, and then we have, I'm pretty sure that's Bigfoot and like a little ghosty question mark. I don't know. I'm really bad at like recognizing the cryptids, but that is super cute. And then this tin is so nice. Like, look at the difference. Like, here is the actual Kickstarter version of the tin versus just the prototype. Again, that, I mean, they wanted to kind of simulate the experience, but they just did such a nice job. It's got really nice rounded edges. It's fully custom painted all across the top, or however this is done. Custom printed? I don't know. And then you open it up and the cards like just fit really nicely in here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so look at this though. Look at the edges. They match like this color theme of, let me pull out these keyword cards. Look at, there's the back of the deck and there's the edges. Like, it's such a seamless, pretty like blend into the edges are so stinking cute. Oh my God, there's the unicorn card. I love it so much. Okay, so these are not numbered. They may have arrived in alphabetical order. I did flip through them, but I think not. I think they just kind of came in this order. And they may be organized according to type. So let's just take a look here. So we have, nope, these are alphabetical. So these little keyword cards are like cheat sheets. So if you don't want to look at a book or anything, you've got these like quick little reference cards that can live. And look at the inside of the tin. It has this like soft, like velvety feeling lining to it, so your cards are kind of protected from any kind of shifting around in there. Oh my God, they're so cute. So I'm gonna put the little keyword cards in the bottom and the little thank you card. Oh, and there's a QR code if you want to download a full digital field guide, I believe is how that works. So there's the deck, and then there's this little packet. So in here are some alternate versions of the cards. So let me just get in here. I love this little even custom printed envelope. So cute. So let's find these cards. So we have Chimera. There's our Squonk. There's our Unicorn. I already know I like this one better. There's the Yahoo, I guess. And the Shuck. So let's find those cards in here. So here's our Unicorn. So I do prefer, the neat thing is that this one looks like it's in moonlight and this one looks like it's in sunlight. I really like this one though with the flowers. So I'm gonna just trade that out. Then we have Phoenix. These are so stinking cute. I just love them so much. I love their art style. So here's our squonk. Oh, I think I kind of like the yellow better. Oh, I can't decide. Emotion? I feel like the yellow fits the mood maybe a little better, and there's more contrast, which I like. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that squonk. Okay, and then we're looking for Chimera, Shuck, and the Yama Yahoo. There's the Chimera. Oh, I like this little glowy. I like the way their eyes look more glowy here. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this Chimera. Or Chimera. I don't know how you say that, y'all. I'm sorry. There's our Shuck. Oh, these look pretty similar. I feel like it looks more dog-like here and like more sort of bat-like or wolf-like here with the face. I think I like this guy, but I don't know anything about the Shuck. That may change. Who knows? And then we just need our little rest guy. Where is he? There he is. Okay, I like the one that's in the deck better. I just like the dangling arm and like how relaxed he seems. These are so stinking cute though. Look at them. They're just so freaking adorable. So I'm going to pop, I wish this like, not I wish, I shouldn't say that because I really like the way this is done, but I'm almost like instinctively wanting to pull it out so I can tuck these cards underneath. But I think what I'm going to do is take the little keyword reference cards and these extra cards and probably tuck them, will they all fit in here? Yeah, tuck them into this little envelope-y thing. Maybe, kind of. And then put these where I put my boxes. Oh, I don't know if I want them closer at hand though once I start. It's kind of a tight squeeze, yo. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. So let me take out these little keyword cards. The thank you card. I don't know what to do. We'll see. I'm gonna just set these aside for now, and then I'll see what I want to do with them. But I think I want to put this back in here. Now, I have something very exciting to tell you guys about this deck, so make sure you watch to the very end of this video because we're not going to be completely done talking about this one till the very, very, very end, but I'm going to cover some other decks first. But there were other goodies in my little Kickstarter package. So, first of all, oh, this is so cute. I think these are stickers. What do we have? Oh my God, it's a squonk temporary tattoo, and then we have, look at him. Oh my God, he's so stinking cute. Oh my God, he's gonna have to go somewhere. This is really cute. Like, where would I put him? Would I put him on like my wrist? Okay, anyways, we're not gonna do this right now, Lisa, focus. But I'm really excited about the temporary tattoo and the sticker. I think that's the first time I've gotten a temporary tattoo with the deck, and I am definitely about it. I think that'd be super fun. And then there are these prints that they tucked into my package. So I don't know, like, the creators are really sweet, and I worked with them in advance of their campaign to help share it. So, oh my gosh, look at, these are nice. These are like really thick, like art paper, like really thick, like thicker than a card, like a tarot card for sure, like quite heavy. That's exciting. So these are going to hold up really nicely. And then I could tell through the paper that they sent me 3 different variations on the unicorn, which makes me want to hang them, like frame them and hang them somewhere fun, except I've got to show you these. Look at these. So these are the ones that made it into the deck, I believe. Yes, there's the pink flowers. And this was another variation that they did. Oh, I like this one too. Look at these. Aren't they so pretty? These are so pretty. I don't even know, like, look at how lovely these are. It almost feels like spring, summer, and autumn here. Oh my God, we need a winter. What is happening? These are so stinking cute. Look at them. Oh my God, I can't. So those are really cute. And of course, I love these guys. So adorable. These are really, really nice. You could even just like set these up. They're going to hold up like, oh, they're so nice. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. And then there's also a field guide. So this is a really nice soft touch cover hardbound book to go with the deck. And I took a little peek at this when the package came in, and I squealed and squealed when I saw, look, they said thank you to me. I'm in the book. I had like such a moment about that. That was super sweet of them. They did not have to do that, but that was so, so sweet. It was really exciting to watch this come to life. Oh my gosh, look at the spreads. Okay, I don't want to give it all away, but there are some deck specific spreads in there. And then the write-ups are literally written like a field guide. So you get like the card artwork with the keyword. You get a meditation, it looks like. Focus, reflection, inner guidance, contemplation. These look like, oh, meditation. Okay, sorry, these are the keywords. So you get meditation, then some other keywords, and then a little quote, tentacles reach for considered thoughts. That will make these very, very memorable. Yes, like here we have balance. On wings of balance you soar. But then you have, and this print is a little bit small, but it's in a font that I find really easy to read even without my glasses, which is saying something. So there's a message here, like an oracle style message, right? And then there's a bit of a story about sort of meeting this cryptid in the wild, so to speak. So it tells you a little bit more about the cryptid and like, yeah, I just think this is really, really well done. And I think what I realized, I think what they've done here, I think they have, is they've sized this bag so that you can actually put the guidebook and the tin in this bag when you, I was going to say when you hang it up, because you guys know I hang up my decks. But I'm going to be able to do that and just hang it like that. So anyways, I'm going to tuck this over to the side because we're not done talking about this. We're going to talk about this again at the end. Make sure you stay tuned. Okay. Okay, I'm going to set this aside for now because we're going to be talking about this again a little later in the video. So make sure you stay tuned and we'll get to that. So another deck that I got in, and I knew I was going to get this in, I did not pre-order it, but I did order it once it was available, and that is the Squid Cake Marseille. This is a Rockpool publishing deck. It was independently published by Jess Roller originally. I think it was a Kickstarter. I can't remember. Oh my God, look at the box detailing on this. I have to say Rockpool has been doing a lot of decks in this kind of size, and I am all about it. I think it's been working out really well. I feel like my box lid is pretty loose, but I'd rather it be too loose than too tight. So there's that. Oh my God, look, we get colored edges again. What is, look at how mass market publishers are like seriously picking up the things that we enjoy. I love matte colored edges, and these pink ones are to die for. Oh my God. Okay. So I will say what attracted me to this besides the color palette, which I am all about, like this is, I don't know what it is about this pink and teal situation that I happen to be really drawn to, but I am drawn to it. It reminds me of the color palette in the Penelope's Tarot, which I love, which is also going to be a mass market deck called the Valuria's Tarot. Anyway, also a Rockpool deck, ironically. But what I love about this is that it's a Marseille, but the imagery is a little bit modern and kind of, and kind of cartoony and funky. And I don't have any Marseille decks that feel like they're set more modern. Like it's not, it's also got like tentacles and like giant snails and things. It's not meant to be, let me just zoom us in. It's not meant to be outside of the realm of the fantastical, right? But it's a Marseille deck that has these modern fun elements. And I really like this. I also really enjoy this kind of size for a Marseille because I think Marseille works really well for larger spreads. This really excites me. Here's our first set of quartz. We have the Page of Batons, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. And then we have our cups. But what I will say actually tipped me over the edge to wanting to purchase this deck was the little guidebook. There was a couple preview pages on the Amazon storefront page, and I really like what they've done with the guidebook. So without getting into like crazy detail here, there's a little bit about how to use the cards. But what you get in these write-ups is a very Marseille specific write-up. So you have on the left a card image, some keywords, and a function. So here it has keyword is surrender, flow, and hope for the star, and the function is releases, which is interesting. And if we pick another one, here's death. The keywords are harvest, ending, and clearing, and the function is cuts. The Hierophant teaches, the Magician tricks. I thought that was really, really smart. But then in the actual write-ups, it's written about in the Marseille. So let me go to a minor arcana card. So here's the Two of Cups. So the minors don't have the functions, but they have the keywords. And then it says the Two of Cups doesn't always have to be about love. It can be two strangers crossing paths in the grocery store, even people meeting for business. The main theme is togetherness and connecting with others. Now this all sounds very Rider-Waite-Smithy, but come down here and there's a section on visually. So it explains what's happening in the pips. It says visually there are two cups side by side with two ghosts rising from them. The ghosts represent two people coming together and getting close, or at a meeting, date, or even a newly formed relationship. And then if you pick a slightly busier one, let's go into the swords. So here's the Eight of Swords. Visually, after pushing through, hold on, let's go back and look. Yeah, see the Seven of Swords pushes through. So after pushing through the Seven of Swords, there is a defense being created in the Eight of Swords. So we have this like sort of wall. It says, this time the blockade is your doing and you need to place yourself in control of the situation. You get to say how fast or slow things grow. This is really cool because what it does is it helps you sort of relate what's happening in the pips visually to what the meaning of the card is. That is very uncommon in books, I feel like, for pip decks in general, but Marseille style decks. It's really nice to see that there is this explanation of what's happening, and I think this is going to really, really help up my Marseille game. So I'm really excited about that. That's the main reason, like one of the main reasons I wanted to get this, besides, of course, the color palette and it being adorable and affordable, mass market, hello. So I'm really pleased about this. I will definitely keep you guys posted. Okay, this next one was one that was kind of a whim. Again, I don't know. I saw it on somebody's channel. I can't even remember who. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible about writing this stuff down. But anyway, I scooped up a copy of the Wandering Soul Oracle. I have another deck that I think this might kind of compete with, so we're going to see. But I just was really excited about it, and they had like some promo thing going on Etsy where it was like buy one deck, get another one free. So they tossed in this Wandering Echo Major Arcana deck. I'm like, okay. So we'll look at that too real quick. I don't typically use Major Arcana decks, but we'll take a peek. So in the Wandering Soul Oracle, this one, the box lid is like pretty snug. It's a really nice like rose petal finish. So we do have a booklet with some basic, it looks like the same font actually as the little Cryptid Oracle. So it's small print, but it's pretty readable. And then we have the cards. Now there is some gorgeous little holographic foil detailing in the stars on the box. And we also see that on the backs of the cards. And then we also have this gorgeous rainbow holographic silver edging on the cards, but they are black and white. Now again, not normally my thing, but I have a bit of a, I don't know, an attraction to pointillism. And this is all done in pointillism. Well, I shouldn't say all. It looks like there's also some solid lines. I'm not 100% sure, but it's pretty much mostly pointillism. And I really enjoyed these images with their keywords. I found them really poignant when I was looking at them online. So we have burn and ignite. Like these are great keywords. And the symbols that accompany these are just, they just make sense. Origins. There's a couple cards that I'm like, I'm not so sure. Like I wouldn't necessarily view celestial energy like this or alien energy as origins necessarily, but it's interesting. Memories, this just brings back literal memories because of course I used to use these all the time. Mortality for the skull. Locked away. I love this because it's like the protection around your heart. I feel like there's a lot you can read into that intuitively. Sacred cycles, divine language, caution, wisdom. Find the light, and it's a moth. I love that. I love the seeking the light. Messenger, vulnerable, with the arrow through the heart, so good. Pandora's box. Like they're simple illustrations, but they make so much sense. Open, future predictions, see beyond, protected. And I feel like this would be a really good match for a lot of more modern decks that I sometimes struggle to find a good Oracle match for. Like I think this would work really well. And actually this is a really good point. I feel like this would work really well side by side with the This Might Hurt Tarot. Now I recently did a full walkthrough of the special edition of the This Might Hurt Tarot that's being published by Liminal 11 that comes with the extra This Might Help Oracle deck. That's kind of stripped down and simple and would work really well with This Might Hurt. Obviously created by Isabella Rotman. I mean, it's the perfect match. But a lot of you were like, I already have the tarot. I don't need the special edition. Like, I don't need it just for that little Oracle deck. And it's kind of pricey. So like if you're looking for a Oracle that might match up well with This Might Hurt, I feel like this could really work. Higher power. I really like this with the sound waves. I feel like it's so open to interpretation for a higher power. I really enjoy that. Interconnected. Conceal. Yes. Hiding the hurt. Cleanse. Oops, I missed one. Communicate. And there's a good amount of cards in here too. Gateway, lineal truth. This is interesting because a lot of times the card like this, we'd see something like ancestors. And what I like about lineal truth is it speaks to the idea of connection to, say, your lineage, but it speaks to truth. So it's not glossing it over or in any way glorifying it, but it's also not looking at it in a negative light. It's a very neutral way to look at your lineage, which I think is really powerful. Preserve, love the life preserver. Chance with the dice. Hope. Celebrate. Grounded, love the anchor for a sense of safety and security and like sort of putting down roots or, you know, putting down your anchor. Direction, preserving time, rebirth, escape, love the cage opening, illusion, things may not be what they seem, unblock. I don't think I knew this was in here. Maybe I forgot. This is just the moon symbols. I don't know if that's meant to be. I don't like that it doesn't have a keyword. Like I would put phases. Maybe I'd put it in the deck and put phases, but it's got a border and the other ones don't. I don't know. I think I'd pull that out as an extra card. Oh, I bet. No, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to these. Connection. Maybe I already shuffled them. I might have already shuffled them. Luck. Now we have luck here with the cards, but then we also have chance. And I just wanted to speak to that really quickly because I do think they're kind of duplicated in their concept. Where is chance? There we go. I will say they're kind of duplicated, but I will say this feels more like gambling. This is shows 4 cards, all aces, as if it feels very positive, whereas chance feels more neutral. So this feels like, yes, this is a sign, things are good, that kind of luck, you know? We have metamorphosis with the butterfly, seeking with the labyrinth, genesis with the DNA, symmetry, strength, bound, close the lid, love this, liminal space. Not sure how I feel about the coffin for liminal space, but okay. Etheric body, consciousness, and liberation. So really, really cool concepts in these cards. I'm really excited about this. Like I said, there's only a couple that I'm not sure of, and there's enough cards that I could easily just take those out and it wouldn't be a big deal. And yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this one, especially if it didn't have a border. I think I'd just write a keyword on and shuffle it in, but because it looks different, you know, like visually from the others in such a major way, I don't know. I probably won't use this card. So I'm going to play with this a little bit. Maybe I'll even put this on top like that. But the guidebook entries are full page for each card, so you can definitely dip more into the meaning of them. And it was pretty reasonably priced for an independent deck. Plus they did send the bonus deck. So that's cool. The Wandering Echo Majors only. So I really like this art style. If this was a full deck, I don't know. I don't know if I would use it or not, but it's pretty cool. We have the Fool, the Magician, the Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Teacher, the Lovers, the Chariot, Justice, the Hermit, the Wheel, Fortitude, Sacrifice, Death, Harmony, this is instead of Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, I love the Mirror for Judgment, the Cosmos, the Self, these are extra cards, Hidden Realm, and Eastern Skies. So that's really, really cool. I don't think this is one that's going to stay with me. Again, I don't really use majors only decks, and I have 1 or 2 that kind of fit the bill if I do need to use a majors only deck. But I think it's really pretty, and it's got a lot of that same detailing on the deck. Oh, does it have edging too? Yeah, it also has the silver holographic edging. So that's the Wandering Echo. This next one I'm really, really excited about. So I backed this on Kickstarter. I don't know if this is one that's going to be around for a long time, and I'm not saying that to inspire FOMO, but just to be honest with you. I've watched an interview. The creator is French and Quebecois, I believe, and I watched an interview on YouTube that was entirely in French. I will try to remember to link it down below. It was like a 2-parter, and I used YouTube's auto-translate to kind of follow along as best as I could because I'm just so fascinated by this deck and its creation. But from what I gather, the creator worked on this as part of a long project. They worked on it for a long time. They had been given a grant for it. So when they released this deck for printing on Kickstarter, the price was insanely affordable. They also wanted to be pretty eco-conscious, so they sent the deck in its own, like, she made these bags. I believe she stamped them or something. I'm not entirely sure, but she made the bags. It's called the Tarot Ultraviolet, like that, with a dot between the 2 T's. So it was sent in this bag with just I believe just a little ribbon that tied it all. Oh yeah, I think I left the ribbon in here. Yeah, there was a really sweet rainbow ribbon to tie the cards together. There was no plastics. There's just this single sticker, but it was really reasonably priced. And I believe what she said is the reason that is because she wasn't trying to make a huge profit on this deck or anything like that. She was paid to work on it because of being awarded a grant. So this was really a passion project for the creator, and I think that's pretty cool. So there's a few things to know. The court cards have been changed to Valet. Wait, let's see here. Pelerin, I'm not sure what that stands for the page. Mystique instead of Queen. Prophetess instead of King, and Guide instead of Cavalier, which would have been Knight. And this does have some, I want to say, Thothy kind of influences, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Even just by the way that the court cards are ranked. But this is what the backings look like. It's really nice cardstock. Like, it feels smooth to the touch. It's matte. There's a write-up here that I legit cannot read. I'm sure there's a way to translate this. But either way, I'm very excited, and I just think this is a deck worth supporting. But my point about it not being around for very long, I did not get the impression, and again, I could be wrong, but I did not get the impression that this creator plans to do a lot of reprints. I think the Kickstarter Kickstarter print run was fairly small. So again, I'm not trying to inspire FOMO. Please use your best judgment. If this is not a deck that calls out to you, obviously don't rush out and grab it. But I'm just not sure it's one she's going to continuously reprint or anything. I think this was kind of a project, not necessarily intended to be an ongoing thing. So that's just your heads up. Okay. So anyways, let's get into it. So what I liked about this, if somebody linked this to me, and again, I wish I could remember, I really should get better at writing this stuff down, but they said basically this is something that they thought I might like because it's almost like the Many Queens Tarot, but in color. These cards, by the way, are larger than standard tarot. So the Wandering Echo, I'm pretty sure is standard tarot size. So let's just show you real quick the difference. So they're wider and taller. I would say they feel a little more oracle sized. The cardstock is like, has a snap and a return to it. Like it feels nice. I have not tried to riffle it yet, so we will do that as part of this little show and tell. But let's do a quick little flip through of some of the cards. I'm not going to do a full walkthrough. If you guys want to see one though, let me know. I'm happy to do that. But what this has is a lot of body diversity. A lot of just all kinds of people in all kinds of bodies. I love how the Lovers looks to me like it shows a polyamorous grouping. That is very, very rare in tarot, and that really excited me because there's not a lot of that. You obviously don't have to read it that way, but I love that that option is there for people who want that option. I think that's pretty freaking cool. I also really like all the colors in this deck in general. I did not get the impression that the creator was overly like super crazy familiar with tarot when they created this. So I think in some places I can kind of detect that, if that makes sense. I think there was research done to create the correct associations. And I think as a result, there's some really cool interpretations of the cards, but sometimes it doesn't quite hit. What I do really love though, so here we have the pages and they all have the astrological or the sort of elemental rather associations. So we have Earth of Earth for all of the Palarins. Again, I don't know the literal translation for that word. I should look it up. But we see a lot of body hair. We see a lot of different levels of ability and physical differences among people, which I really appreciate. A lot of, like I said, body hair, which I like. So then we get into the queens, and we have, did I already go through all the, yeah, here's some of the queens. So, except they're called mystiques, again, in an effort to go more gender neutral. So here we have water of water, water of earth, water of fire, and water of air for the air suit. I really like these glyphs. In fact, I've pulled out a couple of these cards because I'm using these cards with my deck and walk that I'm following along with Marlena Teresa. If you're not following along with Marlena Teresa's deck and walk, I will link her playlist or starter video or whatever down below so you can check it out. But I really liked how clear the astrological information was on this deck. Here's our aces. So here we have Gemini, or excuse me, that's the number of the cards. These are all the twos. Here they're at the bottom. So we have Moon in Libra, we have Venus in Cancer, etc., all the way through the deck. But I like the colors. It's a little bit, it feels rebellious and powerful. This is one that I wasn't quite sure about the interpretation on. I would love to hear feedback. This is a deck that I would love to sit down with a bunch of people or maybe even do a walkthrough of this live and get your guys' feedback as we go. Because most of the cards I'm like, oh, I have so many thoughts. But then some I'm like, I'm not so sure, based on how I typically interpret the cards. But a lot of them are really easy to, I feel like, intuit or understand. And the French language on the cards doesn't bother me at all. So do I want to riffle this knowing that I might? Oh, I wanted to show this. This is the Knight of Cups or the Guide of Cups. I love that there's a walker and this is a younger person. Just kind of destigmatizing some of these assistive devices I think is really super cool. Anyway, okay. I'm going to see how it feels to try to riffle it. Oh, hey, that wasn't bad at all. That wasn't bad at all. Let's try that again. It's a bit big, so it's a stretch. My hands are a little larger, or my finger reach is a little bit larger, so it's not too bad. So I feel like if you've got smaller hands, this will be a bit of a struggle to do it this way. But it wasn't bad. It's got some flex and bend to it, and it's smooth. It's not a sticky mat, so it definitely hand over hands really nicely. So that is the Tarot Ultraviolet. I'm going to go ahead and put these extra goodies away somewhere, but because I think it's very clear, especially with the elemental glyphs, what is what as far as like queen, knight, page, you know, king, etc. And this is another one that I feel like I'm probably just going to keep in its bag instead of moving it into a different Peggy bag, because it's got the name of the deck right on it, and I just feel like it fits the overall vibes so well. So that's the Tarot Ultraviolet. Now these next few decks were all sent to me for the purposes of sharing them with you guys for review. I have a lot of thoughts on this first one, so we're going to talk about it. The first one is the Ritual Tarot. Now, I have one major complaint or concern about this deck, and I want to be incredibly clear about this because I've already talked about it in past videos. It is very expensive. It is very, very expensive. I had major sticker shock. I covered it in a hot takes, and I remember thinking, holy cow, because it was a lot. And once you do the conversion to Canadian dollars, it was astronomical. However, I was deeply curious about it, and I found the concept of it and the way that it's set up very, very interesting. And when the creator reached out to me and asked if I wanted to share it with you guys, if I wanted to review it, I absolutely said yes. So I just wanted to be very clear that I personally found the price too high. Now, with that said, Tiara, the creator of this deck, is an incredibly kind person. I do not think she's like price gouging. I think that she's printing this deck in small runs. She's working with eco-friendly printers, and there are some drawbacks to that. And I think that's something to be aware of because we do, in a way, sort of tell creators what we want with how we spend our money. I think that's a worthwhile point to make because eco-friendly printing is more expensive, often out of reach expensive for many creators, especially if you're printing in lower volumes because you don't have the buying power to buy a lot. So I don't think anything nefarious is going on here. I just think it's the case of how this is produced. That's how it is. So I believe this is the second edition. And I've heard people complain about the cardstock, but y'all, I have to tell you, I love this cardstock. I have heard that it chips very, very quickly. I don't know if that's true with the second edition, but I know I've heard people say that about the first edition, and that can be an absolute deal breaker for people. I totally get it. But there's something about the feel of this cardstock that is unlike any other cards I own in a nice way. Like, I really like it. And I actually reached out to my friend Dawn before I said yes to this deck to confirm that the cardstock was nice to work with. Because I know that it will probably show its wear quickly, I want it to be an enjoyable tactile experience. But in case I haven't named the deck yet, because I know I've shown it, we're talking about the Ritual Tarot by Tiara May. Obviously, that's obvious if you're watching, but I know some people like to listen to videos while they're doing other things, so I figured I should say that. So there is a nice little write-up here in the bottom of the box. I would like to do a full walkthrough of this deck. I don't know when, but please let me know if that's something that you're interested in. But let me talk about the cardstock real quick. Now, I got the impression watching people's videos with it being an easily chipped cardstock, I assumed it was kind of stiff. But this edition, which I believe, again, is the second edition, does it say anywhere on here? It doesn't say. I believe that this feels really flexible. And in my experience, more flexible cardstocks don't chip as easily as stiffer cardstocks. But I'm going to trust other people who have been using it when they say that it does chip. But again, I don't know if there's a difference in the edition. This is dark enough and has black backings that I will probably do what I would do for any deck if it started to do that and edge it in black. But this is all analog collage. It's all done by hand, cutting out images and putting them together to create the deck. And the unique thing about this is that there are no titles on the cards at all. Now, I may add them at some point. I haven't decided. But there's something really immersive about that to me that opens this deck up to be used as a tarot, or maybe potentially, like we'll see as we go through some images, perhaps we could also use it as an oracle deck. I don't know if we'll be able to unsee the tarot, but I feel like for some this could be like your soul cards. Like the way that I like to use the soul cards, I feel like that could work really well with a deck like this without the titles. This is one that throws me because this is the sun, which I can get from all the golden color, but there's these moons on it, which is like, I don't know. So I may need the titles just to know what card I'm looking at. Now, the minor arcana has a lot of these sort of like archaeological like artifact sort of feel to it. So it's got this sort of ancient or mystical vibe to it, but like it's pretty clear that that's the Eight of Wands. So I feel like, and this is, visually I feel like, and it's in a striking way, it matches the card's energy. Let's just zoom this in a bit. I love that. There is a little bit of a mix of old and new in this deck, but predominantly I feel like it feels old. And again, I like that there's no borders. I like that there's no titles. I feel like I can sink into it. And that would be my one hesitation with titling it myself is I'm not so sure how this is going to feel. I'm really excited to see how it reads, how it is to work with. The deck that I can think of that's similar in vibe to this would be the Tarot of the Old Gods by Scylla Conway. And she has really detailed in every single one of her cards, the artifacts, where they come from, like what the story is behind those, which I think is really freaking cool. But I feel like this is going to sit in the space of collage deck. And the only other deck I have that kind of has this vibe is the Voyager Tarot, which sometimes feels a little, I don't know the right adjective, a little high vibe or new, or it feels a little woo, maybe is a good way to put it. I don't know. So I'm really, really excited to dig into this. I definitely want to do a full walkthrough, really thinking about each card and what my impressions are of each one going through that. If that's something you're interested in, obviously, please let me know down below. But again, you've got to use your best judgment. And for some of us, a deck like this is going to feel really worth it. It's very unique in the space. It's printed in an eco-friendly way. And a lot of time and effort went into creating an analog collage deck like this. So those are factors to consider. And just to remember that like small run prints are so much more expensive to do, particularly at, this is an eco-friendly printer in Italy. So it just depends on what you do and what you want. But that is the deck. And then there's also a book. Now this edition has a perfect bound guidebook that you can see is quite a bit bigger than the cards. I believe earlier editions might have been stitch bound. I think they might have been stitch bound. So this is a little bit more expanded, I think, than prior editions. So you get lots of like gorgeous imagery for all the majors. But when you get into the minors, you switch out to a different layout where you have like thumbnail cutouts and shorter write-ups for every single card. I would love to see something like this fully expanded with like bigger write-ups. These are just keywords basically for the minors. But then we have these gorgeous big pages for the majors. So I like to see a little bit less of a gap in how much information is in each section. Like if it's going to be a lot for the majors, I'd like at least a medium amount, you know, for the minors rather than going right from big full page to like just keywords. So I want to make sure I share my criticisms and my thoughts. There's her business card. Criticisms and thoughts as well as my excitements. But I'll probably be more focusing on overall how I feel about the artwork when I do a full walkthrough. So that's the Ritual Tarot. And I did also get, as I mentioned, 2 special edition decks in from Liminal 11 to share with you guys. I've already put up my full deep dive squeal walkthrough of the This Might Hurt Tarot special edition. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm in love. I will link you to that video to check that out. I haven't been able to bear taking anything out of this box, but just please consider checking out that full video because I gushed ridiculously. But my original independent copy of This Might Hurt Tarot is probably my favorite deck period ever. So just keep that in mind because it's really, really gorgeous. And Liminal 11 also sent me the special edition of The Citadel. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil this, but I just need to show. This comes in a book style. I'm not gonna show, but it comes in a book style. I want to tease because I've got a full video that's going to be going up a little bit later this month going over this in detail, but oh my God, it's like linen cover. It looks like a book. It feels like a book, like a really big book. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Anyways, I have lots of thoughts on this. So keep an eye out for my full video on this one, but that is the Citadel Special Edition, which I also received in for review. So we will be taking a look at it. Oh my God, the copper on this is just so pretty. Now, I promised you we were going to get back to the Little Cryptid Oracle. So the creators of this deck have generously offered to work with me on a giveaway. So what we're going to do is this. If you are interested in winning a copy of the Little Cryptid Oracle, all you have to do is comment down below the word cryptid, C-R-Y-P-T-I-D, cryptid. Anywhere in your comment, just use that word. Don't put a hashtag in front of it or anything like that. Just the word cryptid. It can be in the middle of a sentence. It can be all by itself, but do that. And I will be drawing winners for this on this upcoming weekend. So I'm putting this video up on Tuesday, April something. And this coming weekend, I will be drawing a winner. So to have the best chance of winning, make sure you get your entry in, your comment on this video in before or by the end of the day Friday, because I'll be drawing the winner probably Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure when, and I will just be pulling the winner from whoever has commented by that time. So get your entries in. As all of my giveaways are, this will be open internationally as long as the creators are able to like legally ship to your country. Things like customs and stuff, they probably can't do a whole lot about, so make sure you know what your importing situation is before you enter because you may get some customs or duties charges. And what else? Oh yes, of course, you must be 18 or older to enter. And this is not affiliated with YouTube. This is just me and the creators of the Little Cryptid Oracle. So that is it. If you want to enter to win that, please drop that information down below for us so that we can do that. Make sure that you come back and check your notifications, because I will reply to your comment if you are the winner. Or just keep an eye out on my community tab for the post to see if you've won, and then get in touch with me. Make sure that I get your address, all that kind of stuff, so that I can send that information off to the creators so they can get your deck in the mail for you. So thank you again to the creators of Little Cryptid. I think you guys did just an incredible job. I'm so excited about this deck. I really am. And the cloth that comes with it, I didn't really talk about it, but oh my gosh, it's like heavier, I don't know, linen or something. It's heavier cotton-ish feeling fabric. It feels almost like a really light denim, which is exactly the vibe, right? It looks like it's been hand dyed. I don't know how they did this, but it is gorgeous and I love it. So I actually ironed it up fresh so we could put it under the video today. So that is it for this month's recent deck roundup. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.